Herman. Mr. Gurmai, Dr. Koch, thank you for this kind invitation. It's a really good idea to speak about ITS and its applications, its future, how it helps a greener world, greener transport in this setting. Herman was mentioning that there are three Directorate Generals here. Indeed, ITS and in a broader sense an efficient transport system is a cross-cutting issue which is somehow in the portfolio of quite a number of services. And each of us has its particular focus, its particular task. DG 10 is mostly in the lead of setting new policies related to transport. Of course, others join in. And just to mention one fundamental issue DG 10 is now working on is the next edition of the white paper on transport. DG IMSO is working hard on new solutions, new technologies, and I think most of you have the longest experience probably with the colleagues in IMSO. And I would like to make a little amendment to what you said, Herman. Research, supporting research and working on research policies is not the privilege of DG Research. It is done by quite a number of DGs. It's called the research family, and the colleagues here are also members of that. And indeed, DG Research itself, and then the Transport Directorate in Transport Research Directorate in that DG, is in charge of using these results, building these results into transport systems, into solutions on vehicles and on the infrastructure. My second message would be in connection with the fact that it is exactly these days when the new Commission, the second Barroso Commission, is being formed. And we fully trust that on the 9th of February, the new Commission will be voted and will enter into force, into operation. Now, this new Commission is, its agenda is based on the strategy of Mr. Barroso, what he submitted to the Parliament, and this is set out in his EU 2020 strategy document. I mention it because transport and new technologies, new solutions in transport has got an important impetus in that document. First of all, in the context of decarbonization of our economies, and the part of it, decarbonization, so greening of transport. And that indeed sets for us a very important context, a very important agenda for the years to come. A third element I would like to mention, hopefully we are approaching to be over it, is the economic crisis. When the Commission reacted fairly fast, I think, at the end of November 2008, when the first Barroso Commission came up with the recovery package. And as part of this set of measures, 3 public-private partnerships for research were set up, and one of them is the European Green Car Initiative, where indeed ITS solutions, electric cars, and quite a number of issues which have been mentioned in a extremely interesting way by the previous speakers play an important role. Now, a fourth element I would like to mention to you, and this is somehow completing the introductory part, what the 2 members of the Parliament were mentioning, is some facts. 72% of the European population lives in urban areas, and 85% of the European GDP originates from urban areas. On the other hand, the congestion which happens in the urban area costs to us 1% of our GDP is a social cost. It impacts very much our climate as well, the urban transport. 40% of the CO2 emissions in Europe are due to road transport in urban areas. And 70% of other pollutants stem also from transport. So I don't want to overload you with data, but I think this shows the significance of this issue. Now, what we are doing, and implicitly there has been a lot of mentioning of several actions where the Commission joins in. All the funding for research, so the implementation of research policies, has to do with the Community Research Framework Program, the 7th Framework Program, which is now going on. But as Herman said, it is absolutely not new that the Commission deals with ITS. It was there in FP5 and full-fledged in the 6th Framework Program. For various purposes, for supporting the transport policy, like the Civitas program run by DG Tren, or research on technology development, and here I mention city-related projects like Heavy Route, City Mobile, Fidelis, and others. So these projects very often include integration of ITS systems, like for instance projects aiming at developing advanced route guidance systems for heavy goods vehicles. This is the Heavy Route project. At achieving a more efficient organization of urban transport with clean vehicles in urban cities. This is the City Mobile project, which has demonstrations already, but I also happen to see myself in London Heathrow, but also in Castellon and in Rome, and also improving the transport of goods in cities with dedicated vehicles, and that is the Fidelis project we are sponsoring. Now, with the present framework program, the 7th framework program, where the transport theme as such, entailing all modes of transport, has an envelope of nearly 4.2 billion euros. So inside this theme, surface transport has a share of over 1 billion euros in forms of collaborative research. And there is a dedicated priority area on ensuring sustainable urban mobility. That's the first time we have such a dedicated priority in the program. And its objective is to improve the mobility of people and transport of goods in urban and peri-urban areas, all transport modes included. We just saw the significance of intermodality in this context. To develop clean, energy-efficient, safe, and intelligent urban transport systems, increase the quality and provide adequate level of public passenger transport that aims at providing access for all citizens and at high levels of intermodal integration. So just to mention a few concrete research topics, new mobility concepts for passengers with the development of clean urban vehicles, accessibility in public transport, in particular identifying the most promising ICT tools, aiding tools, helping tools, and services for vulnerable road users. And I emphasize this because I know how much Burma is keen about giving opportunities to everybody. The European bus system for the future, urban and delivery vehicles using second-generation hybrid electric technology, intelligent mobility systems for passengers and freight transport, so multimodal mobility services, info-mobility systems, traffic management systems. This is an area where DG IMSO is extremely active, but also DG Research, and clean and efficient urban freight transport vehicles and services. So this is about what FP7 directly provides in this context. Coming nearer to ITS, very shortly, I would like to mention an action which has to do both with the Urban Mobility Action Plan and with the ITS Action Plan, where these policies, DG Trend takes the lead, but DG Research is helping this activity by sponsoring projects like, for instance, the project called Conduit, which is on intelligent mobility systems and multimodal interface of transport and passengers. It's an urban ITS platform where the main objective is to develop key performance indicators that support European municipalities in business decisions for ITS projects and facilitate the exchange of best practices regarding ITS between city governments. The services offered range from traffic control to public transport information to travel demand management. The key performance indicators will be tested first in 3 big European cities, Paris, Barcelona, and Rome. And I would like to draw your attention on a workshop on the scope of the Urban ITS platform organized by DG Trend and DG Research on the 23rd of March in Brussels. The aim is to allow for a broad participation of citizens, city-related stakeholders. Next step would then be the setup of collaboration of the platform and drafting the terms of reference and the work program in the framework of both action plans. I already mentioned the European Green Card Initiative. It's an alliance and cooperation among a number of services, certainly all our services here in this room, to come up with a 1 billion envelope program on giving a large impetus to developing green road transport. So green cars is a catchy name, but it's more than cars. It also trucks, lorries. And it concentrates on the one hand on the electrification of road transport in the short range context, but on the other hand, and let's not forget about it, on the long distance freight, first of all, which is a major pollutant as well, and in another way than what was presented, but also needs a lot of intelligent transport system solutions. So the first calls of this initiative, calls for proposals, were published in July 2009, and indeed this first call focused on electric and hybrid vehicles, and all possible research areas were addressed at component and system level, including a joint call on batteries. New materials, new solution for batteries, which is the key issue in this exercise, as you heard. Herman was also asking a little bit about international cooperation. Indeed, those megacities which were mentioned by a previous speaker are to be found all over the world. They are even mostly much larger than even the largest European cities. So it's a global issue, and the 7th Framework Program has opened new opportunities for collaboration with third countries, with emerging countries, with partner countries, in various ways, including also where there is a strong European interest in global issues to give also some funding to third country participants. And ERTICO is very active in this sense, and helps our coordination action called SIMBA, which takes up emerging countries like China, India, Brazil. And I really trust that this kind of approach and enthusiasm will continue also on these global issues. Thank you very much.